How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sidelined. I'm Brooke 𝗏𝗟. That's my girl, 𝗏𝗍. Dani, just consistently traveling the world. Where are you today?
This is a long trip. This is a 21-day road trip. So not the longest that I have in a year, but it's pretty long. So I was in Toronto, and now I just took a flight this morning. I got like 3 hours of sleep. We didn't get back from site until 12:30 in the morning. And woke up at 3:30 for my flight, but we're here in Cincinnati. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be here for, I think, another 11 days, 10 work days. I don't know. They all kind of blend together at this point, but it's fun. It's the summer. It's great weather. It's great tennis. The US Open is coming up soon. So it's a really fun time. Brooke, it looks like you're back home in Chicago and you've got a visitor.
Yes. I might as well just introduce Frankie. This is Frankie. This is my best friend Kate's dog. I call him my nephew. So he loves the camera. He's not shy.
No.
So he likes sitting on my lap. He has abandonment issues, and separation anxiety. So he's going to sit on my lap throughout the podcast. So don't be alarmed, everybody. But yeah, talking about sleep. Did you see all the United flights that were grounded because the system shut down?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, tennis channel people were freaking out. I'm like, I'm not a United girly. Are you a United girly?
I'm a United girly now being in Chicago. And so I was affected by that. It was funny because I was on our flight and I was like, great. Okay, we're taking off. Because I was hearing rumblings on social media. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly the pilot came out and was like, yeah, the whole system is shut down in Chicago. We're going to be delayed. Then I'm getting on social and they're saying that they're canceling flights and people aren't getting out until tomorrow. I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't let me get stuck in LA. Thank gosh we were delayed 2.5 hours. So I didn't get in bed until 3 a.m. this morning, but we're back because I didn't want to travel today. I wanted to enjoy the off day.
So when you were going to bed, I was just waking up. So both of us are running on zero. We can't be held accountable for any wild things that we say today. That's
exactly. Be patient with us, everybody.
Well, let's start with why you were in LA, because I find this seminar that Fox Sports puts on to be so fascinating. So tell us about it.
Well, first off, Fox Sports, a lot of credit to them because their seminar, they treat that as, a big social gathering, big networking gathering, an opportunity because everybody is all over the place and everybody has a chance just to see each other, to catch up, to really get to know everyone. And so it was for college football and the NFL, it kind of overlaps. And so the first night, there was just a mixture of everyone. The thing I like with Fox is that they treat it, it's a huge, obviously, it's a powerhouse, right? But they truly do treat it like a family atmosphere. Everyone kind of knows everyone. And so that's something that I'm truly honored and appreciative of being a part of. But man, it's so much fun. You get there and they have all these different activities planned. Of course, I did pickleball because you know me. My body was so sore. I was, again, who do I think I am pushing myself like I could 10 years ago? I was about to pull a hammy, but it was fun. But I'm sitting there, playing with Jenny Taff, who I admire dearly. And so it's just kind of cool, right? You're just interacting, having fun with people you see on TV. I got in and out and Rob Gronkowski is standing next to me. And, it's so cool. Terry Bradshaw came up to me. I'm like, do you know who you are? It was awesome.
That's what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to name drop because the cool thing about Fox is they have so many amazing personalities and great reporters and people that you and I have grown up watching or at least still watch and still take inspiration from. So hearing some of those names is good. I want you to keep going though. So who else did you see?
Yeah. Just to brush shoulder, Erin Andrews, Carissa Thompson, Rob. The list goes on and on. It's crazy just to think about all the people there in one place.
So do you get to talk to everybody? Does everybody know each other? Let's start with that. Then I actually have a laundry list of questions about this webinar because it is really interesting, especially for reporters. And it's just it sounds like a fun environment to be in.
Yeah, no, it is. And again, it's a networking thing, right? And so obviously you're there to learn about the upcoming season. But yeah, and for me, I guess for anyone, it's kind of out of a person's comfort zone and it's unnatural for you just to kind of go up and just introduce yourself to 100 people, right? But it is an opportunity just to have conversations and just to put like names to faces and just to, you know, be able to pick the brains of people too. So yeah, I mean, you force yourself to kind of go and just say, hey, like I'm Brooke, like, and, you know, just introduce yourself to everyone. So, because you're never going to have all of those people in one place, probably like ever again, or outside of like this one event.
And so this is because you do Big Ten college football. Like, what's the tie to Fox Sports there?
So yeah, so Fox Sports owns owns Big Ten Network, where, you know, Big Ten Network is a funnel into Fox Sports. So that's why I was there. So I do college football with Jake Butt and Jeff Levering, and they're on my crew, and they unfortunately weren't able to come. So I was kind of holding it down for my crew there. But, you know, Devin Gardner was there. Devin does like Fox. And so it was great to see him and catch up with him. We should have him on the podcast, by the way.
We should. He's got great energy. Yeah, great energy.
Yes, I just thought about that. So we should have him on. But yeah, and so you're just kind of, you know, just brushing shoulders and talking.
Yeah. So is it like I know that it's a big networking event and that everybody that covers both the NFL and college football tend to go. Is there any workshop? Is there any ability to ask questions, learn? What is that like?
So we first get there, you do an activity. So there's pickleball, there's horseback riding, there's painting, there's like, I mean, you name it, they have it. And that's a great opportunity to meet people. Then that night you have dinner, and then you have like the event, and that's where Boys Men perform, which is so cool. And then the next day is when we have like the actual like seminar and go through all the rule changes and, you know, the meetings and what to expect this season and things like that. And we're in a meeting for about 3 hours. And so that's when people can ask questions, voice their opinions. You hear from different coaches, and it's super informative. And I also just think it kind of riles gets everybody ready and kind of like in that mode that you're like, okay, college football is here and it's go time. Right. It's also super interesting, like about how they do the scheduling. And they go over that. And because there's so many networks now that are covering Big Ten football, you now have NBC, now CBS is in the mix, you have Fox. And so just kind of how they go through the scheduling, I don't know how much detail like I can go into, but just how they handle that.
Which game goes to which network and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and just the way the industry is also changing. And just, you know, trying to market these players and, you know, the length of time casual fans watch games and like, I mean, just everything that goes into it. It's not just like the production and, okay, let's broadcast the game. There's so much more that goes into it. And so that's like opportunities like this just to kind of get behind the scenes and some insight. It was really cool. So,
it's so fun. I'm so excited. Football season's around the corner.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it's already here?
Crazy enough, I did a couple college football interviews a couple weeks ago. So I don't know if I said this on this podcast, but I'm a part of the Netflix Sports Club podcast. So Kay Adams hosts it. And then I kind of come in as like a correspondent on a couple episodes. It's not necessarily like a full-time thing for me, but I got to go in and they gave me the screener of that Netflix show, Any Given Saturday. It came out. It's all about the SEC and all that happened last year. Remember, Vandy upset Alabama.
Yeah.
Saban was talking crap about Vandy, about how it's the easiest place to play in the SEC.
Yep.
And, you know, you had like underperformances. You had the drama at Florida. You had the drama at LSU. They went over Auburn. It was, you know, can Mississippi State ever win? Like, it was really, really, really good. And I got to watch it before it came out. It just came out yesterday.
Wow.
This week for sure. And those interviews come out August 8th. So tomorrow, as in we're recording this on a Thursday. Very excited about it. I got to talk to 𝗂𝗶𝘶, who is the Vanderbilt quarterback. He's like 5'10". Paul 𝗂𝗏 I got to talk to as well. So it was just fun because you're like, wow, college football's seriously here. And the fact that you're covering baseball and I'm covering tennis, but we both get to get a little bit of football energy, it's fun.
How is talking to Paul 𝗏𝗏? Because I told you that's where I first started. I was an AD for his show for a while. So I'm so curious, personality-wise, like how was he when you talked to him?
Well, it was really funny because I have met him before, but long time ago. He should never remember who I was. I was just starting working in the industry. I was working at the University of Tennessee, and he's a Tennessee alum. So I had briefly mentioned to him at the beginning that I'd actually met him before. And it was a very casual interview to get started. Podcasting is so casual anyways, but I think we connected over the fact that we were Tennessee fans. No one told him though, and this is partially on me. I should have said like, my name is Dani, but I just sort of assumed that whoever was setting up the interview was already like already told him that my name was Dani. So anyways, he kept calling me Kay periodically throughout the interview. But it also, K is so easily like interchangeable with okay. So it happened like 2 or 3 times, and I just didn't have the heart to correct him. So it's totally fine. He must think Kay Adams worked at Tennessee and that she now has blonde hair. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's such an awkward thing because it's like you're already in the interview and you're in the conversation, and then you're like, what am I going to do? Correct Paul Feinbaum and be like, hey, by the way, my name is Dani. Yeah. But no, he's so animated on TV. And then I remember just like off camera, he's just super chill and just very like quiet. And so I was just curious how
he's very monotone, but yet extremely sarcastic. So like he throws in these jokes about people, and you have to like really be ready to hear what he's saying so that you can react. Because if you don't have a quick reaction time, you may have missed the joke he threw in there about making fun of a caller or something like that. So it was really fun. I'm excited for that to come out. I'm sure we can post it, or I'll post it on my Instagram at some point when that comes out. But
well, and there's so many stories, and I mean, it's awesome that you're doing this because I mean, you're getting to interview people in college football, you're interviewing people in other, areas of sports too. And like doing the podcast with Kay Adams, who's been in the industry, for so long. So I'm stoked for you. And this is such a cool opportunity for you. And you're so good at doing podcasts. Like
podcasting is so fun because you can be so much more chill and casual. And, also, this has absolutely nothing to do with football, but it has something to do with tennis. Did you see that they're going to come out with a dating show surrounding the U.S. Open?
Yes. Please give me more information on this because you are the tennis expert here. I need to know, are we talking like Bachelor? Like what's the format here?
Well, first of all, she's gorgeous. The woman that they've announced, her name is Alana Ray, and I'm going to be upset if I said that name wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's her name. She was a former figure skater. I guess just a tennis fan.
Okay.
No real ties to tennis. I will say I know a couple people that are in the tennis world that would have loved to be introduced to her without there having to be a dating show attached. She's stunning. I think it's a great idea. The US Open is saying we're going to do a digital series and she's going to go on dates with fans. And it's leading into the US Open or throughout the 2 weeks of the US Open. I didn't look too much into all the details there, but I mean, with the way that Love Island is going nuts, I don't know if you've watched Perfect Match, but that's the one everybody's talking about right now as well. I just caught up last night. I think it's great. Jump on the train, bring in some new eyeballs.
Well, and I'm glad you said that because my first thought was, what? Why are we doing this? But I think there's so many networks and so many sport like leagues that are trying to get in touch with like the younger generation and, okay, how can we get more eyeballs on our sport and our event? And they are just following where the money's at, where the eyes are, and that's dating shows. And I think like what can go viral, right? And like what can be a hit on social media. And this is the perfect opportunity. But my thing is like, how weird is this going to be for her? Are they fans of her? Are they fans of like tennis?
So here's the part that's very interesting to me. Now, she could have a further following on something else that I'm unfamiliar with, but her Instagram following, she has under 10,000 followers. At the time of which this was announced, she had under 5,000 followers. So she's not somebody that's out there in terms of a influencer, at least from what I can see when it was first announced, because I was sitting on the Tennis Channel desk when this first came across my feed and everybody's looking around left and right like, who is this? And that's no disrespect to her. We just had never seen anything like that before. I think it's fun. Like, why not put a little reality twist into a sporting event? Sure, why not?
Right?
I mean, it's more eyeballs to the U.S. Open. They've got a pretty big purse that they're playing players these days. So,
what are they going to do for the dates?
Okay, let's plan some. Let's pretend we are on this. It's in New York City, so I assume one of them has to be like visiting one of the more iconic spots, or do you think it's all about dating at the actual venue?
I would imagine dating at the actual venue, but I've never been to the venue, so I don't know how many places you could,
I have been to the venue.
Okay.
My thoughts are there are obviously multiple bars all around. So if they hooked onto a sponsor, maybe you can go visit one of the bars and try the margarita or the Taylor Fritz margarita, I think. Or there's we have a couple special names of certain players that have partnerships with those alcohols. And maybe a date there, maybe a date in one of the suites while watching a match.
I like that one. I think going to, one of the suites, you got to get the honeydeuce. Okay. What if they did like a honeydeuce making class?
Oh, cute. Now that's a really good idea.
Right?
Yes.
So that could be a good idea. They could, try different foods that they serve there. I think.
Wow, that'd be good.
They can do.
Because it's actually put on by the U.S. Open. So the U.S. Open has to promote their event in some form of fashion. So you've got to show all the different things that you can do there.
I mean, they have to play tennis, right?
Oh, duh.
That could be one.
That's a good idea. I don't know how that one would have slipped my mind. Yeah, playing tennis with one of them.
That seems like the logical thing to do. Where do you watch it? Are they going to post it? I'm assuming on their socials.
That's what my understanding is that it's going to be streaming on their socials.
Could you imagine if she actually found the love of her life and then she gets married?
I think that'd be awesome. You know me, I'm a hopeless romantic. I don't care in what form or fashion love comes in. Like, if it works, it works. That's great. I mean, cool. Good for you.
I live in a hopeless place. Not really a hopeless place.
Found love, the place that literally uses love in its terminology.
Oh, they're definitely going to do something with that, right?
They have to.
That would be
do you think she like hands out something? You know, like in The Bachelor, they give out a rose. What would you give out? A racket?
Yeah. Will you accept this tennis ball?
Honestly, I want to see her outfits. Who's she going to partner with? What tennis?
Oh my God. Right. She should have Morgan and Paige and all the wags like come and evaluate the men for her.
Ooh, that'd be really good.
Right?
Really good.
Something with Dairy Boy. It's like do a Dairy Boy collab or something. I don't know. I'm excited.
Dairy Boy has a whole ice cream truck now.
Wait, they do. That girl.
She is just
what she's doing. Good.
Just
get that bag, Paige. Get that bag.
She got that ring. Did you see
that ring? It looks good. It looks good. I'm excited for her.
Paige Lorenz, 𝗵𝗶 officially engaged. Super cool. They look great. I haven't seen Tommy since that happened, so I have absolutely zero details because he's been injured. So he's supposed to come here. So we'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you get like the inside scoop. You also got the inside scoop on Ben Shelton and Trinity Rodman before the whole world did, which is crazy, Dani. Like, weren't you just getting water and then you were like, oh yeah, congrats on your relationship. He's like, what?
Yeah, coffee.
Spilled the tea.
Yeah, coffee. And he had said that he was a little concerned that they wouldn't see each other that often just because her season and his season are very similar. But she ended up getting injured, so she was able to travel with him. So all those viral videos and content that we got to see out of Wimbledon was really just a lucky coincidence. Nobody wants anybody to be hurt, but it certainly played into their favor of us getting to see more of the two of them. They're so cute. And she's been watching obviously way more tennis now. And you can tell that the sport is like new to her. And as somebody who was a basketball player and had zero, when I tell you I didn't know anything about tennis when I first went in for my audition at Tennis Channel, mind you, that was nearly 10 years ago now, but I knew nothing. And she's asking a lot of the same funny questions that I was asking at the time as well, because there's just so many weird nuances in tennis. Yeah. She was complaining. Here's some of her complaints. She was like, why don't they play music that the players actually want to hear? Because the tournaments tend to play very poppy, old school, or just like ABBA mixes and things to get the crowd pumped up. But when the players are in a really like intense moment, that's the music that they're listening to during the changeovers.
Right.
That.
I see her point. And again, I've never been to a soccer game that like, especially a game that she's played in. So I don't know what kind of music they play, but I do know with baseball, like they're not playing. I'm sure a lot of the guys would like to listen to some rap and they have their walk up songs, but they're not sitting there, you know, playing that. They're playing, Neil Diamond and, you know, Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Sweet Caroline. Yeah.
Sweet Caroline. Like they're trying to please the crowd. And so I would assume that's what they're doing in tennis. And there's also like a traditional aspect to tennis, right? A certain gamesmanship.
For sure. Yeah. She was talking about how, and I've always said this too, it's so weird. If the player hits the ball and it clips the net, but falls on their opponent's side, and it was too difficult for a player to get to because it hit the net, because it's very rare for it to hit the net.
Yeah.
They always apologize. They always hold their hand out and they apologize. And I always think that that's so weird. And she also thinks that's strange.
I don't think
that's a resident tennis player.
I think that makes sense. It's just so funny because I feel like it's just because there's different unspoken rules and traditions for every sport. And so I just feel like with tennis, that makes sense to me. That one does.
There's got to be some in baseball that are.
Well, it kind of reminds me of like, you know, a pitcher, if they hit a batter like by accident, they'll like, hey, like, sorry, man, like, sorry about that or whatever. But like if a batter like shows up a pitcher like and pimps his bat or does like a bat flip or whatever, like old school.
Did you say pimps his bat?
Yeah, like you pimp your bat.
What's that mean?
So like you do like a bat flip or like, oh, he pimped it. Like, you know what I mean? So
no. We can tell who's never covered baseball before. I can't wait to say this.
So like if he
something that I'm not allowed to say.
I know. Can we say that now? Is that okay to say in 2025? He pimped it. Okay. Well, he does like a bat flip. So you know when you hit a homer or grand slam or whatever, and you throw your bat, or you kind of do like a little something. He like pimped it, or he, you know, did the bat flip. So a lot of times that's like back then in baseball, like that's showing up the pitcher. And so normally the next time up, whether it's him or his teammate, the pitcher will throw and he'll like hit the player, or he'll just to kind of say like, hey, don't show me up. That was kind of like unwritten rules of baseball. Now the game is changing. We're in a new generation where it's like they kind of embrace that because it's like an entertainment factor, right? Like, and it creates like a storyline in baseball. It makes it more exciting. So, but I feel like Ben is part of that like next generation, like Trinity is too, where they're okay to kind of push the limits in sports and kind of they want to change certain things. So I'm not surprised that she is questioning a lot of that. And also like, I know she doesn't have a good relationship with her dad, but her dad was one of those that definitely pushed the limits in his sports.
Yeah, it's just strange. There's some quirky things about different sports. And if you don't watch it all the time, it's definitely like head scratching, especially in tennis. Maybe it's just because it was so foreign to me when I first got into it. So I kind of feel similarly to Trinity in that regard. But players sharing a golf cart to the same match that they're going to play one another, players warming up with each other.
That is weird to me. I wouldn't want to share a golf cart with somebody I'm about to go play against.
They don't talk on it, but they share it. I'd be like, get your own dang golf cart.
Get out of here. I don't want to see your face. I don't want to see your face.
Always happen, but it ends up that way at times. It's very weird.
I think it's also interesting where they warm up and not warm up, but like before they go out to the court. What was it? It was Alcaraz? No, or Nadal would always get in his opponent's head because he would always like run by them and do like his warm-ups and stuff. And I feel like that was like a intimidation tactic.
Yeah. I mean, they stand right next to each other and wait, they warm up in the same spot. The weight room is
weird to me.
I was actually just watching this last night. Like I said, we were recording this on a Thursday, but on Wednesday, it was the semifinals and in Toronto, and Ben Shelton was playing Taylor Fritz. So two Americans playing one another who know each other really well, but it's like a high stakes match. And they were waiting for the match before them to finish. But it was a third set tiebreak. Like it was a crazy match. So they're both standing in the weight room next to one another with their teams, watching the same television, not speaking to one another, reacting to the match, but also not like corresponding at all with each other. It's so weird.
That is so bizarre.
It's so weird. It's not like you have your own locker room. You know what I mean? That's not a thing. Yeah, it's literally like you're sharing your locker room with your opponent. It's very weird. Tennis has some weird stuff.
Well, do you feel like it's starting to kind of change with, like, do you feel like Ben is kind of, you know, with his next generation and they're looking for the new faces? Do you think like he's kind of part of that? Because I know tennis is very traditional, kind of like golf. Like golf is trying to find those new faces and trying to make it more exciting. Do you feel like tennis is kind of on that same track?
Yeah, I just think more eyeballs are on tennis right now, which is really fun. It's like totally mainstream. But I do think like the fact that he's playing Taylor Fritz, even though that may be a name that we've heard for a long time, he's still only like 25 or 26, 27 years old. He's still so young. Whereas Ben Shelton's like 22. He's 22 years old. So they're both still so young, but American tennis is very exciting. We've got like 4 or 5 guys like right in the top 15, which is amazing. And Ben Shelton, as I speak on a Thursday, is playing in the final of Toronto. If he wins that one, that's a huge deal. That's a massive, massive tournament, especially leading into the US Open. He's so charming. I've talked about it on this podcast before. He's got that all-American kid smile. He can be a superstar if he wins some of these big tournaments in succession. So that's exciting in the tennis world, that's for sure.
He's becoming one of my favorites to watch. I just think he's, you know, in sports now, from social media to being, you know, just his swagger, the way he carries himself. I just think he's one of the names to keep an eye on. So I'm excited to watch him.
He's got a good personality.
He does. He does. What else do we got?
I do want to talk about fantasy football because it is coming up.
Yes.
And I have 2 drafts coming up in a couple weeks, I think August 20th. And it's really interesting because people, if you're really, really into fantasy football, some people have these massive drafts where like everybody gets together, and mostly men. Like, let's be realistic.
Oh. Can I just tell you that Jake is the commissioner of the Padres League? And so the last week I was going through any and every way they could do their draft. So it's definitely a thing. Men love it.
And then they add the punishment for the guy that does the worst or gets last place at the end of the season. And some of these are insane.
So I saw something, the beauty of TikTok. I saw this, and I don't know if it's real or not, but if it is, this is insane. A guy said his punishment was to enlist in the army, and it's a video of him like in the plane. I don't know if this is real, but if it is, his friends are savage to make him actually go through that.
That's horrible.
Horrible. I mean, we appreciate your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. But could you imagine? Like, I'm not joining your league. I have to get in the army. He said he drafted, who was the quarterback for the Giants? Daniel Jones. Yeah. So that was the first mistake. I think it might be a joke, but some people take these punishments very seriously. Do you guys have punishments?
We had one idea of one. We didn't actually follow through with it, but it got the problem was it got put in the middle of the season. It needed to be talked about before. So I do think it's going to be carried out this year.
Okay.
It's such a girly punishment. If you lose the league, you have to go and do a Instagram live, get ready with me. And it has to stay on your page.
Wait, alive?
Alive.
Okay, the live is very scary.
It's so cringe. It's so cringe, especially when you have a bunch of friends that are not influencers. So like, it's just going to pop up on their feed and they're just like, and this is my moisturizer.
No, it's so awkward because then you see people like signing on. So Like one time, Kate, Kate is so good at all this stuff with like all the influencing.
Yeah, she wouldn't even care. That wouldn't even bother her. She'd be like,
No,
oh,
she's
she's
a
last.
But just because I feel like, because I'm so awkward. I'm just awkward in general. So she's like getting her hair done, but I didn't even realize I was like on her live. And so I get on there, and then it's just like me and her, and she goes, "Oh, hey, Brooke." I'm like, this is so weird. Am I supposed to be here? So that's a good punishment. We should do that.
I've heard of guys doing the 24-hour at IHOP rule. Have you heard about this?
No.
Or you go to a diner and, well, the IHOP one is you eat a pancake every hour, or every pancake that you eat subtracts the hours that you need to sit at the IHOP.
Wait, so for every pancake
So if you were to sit there at 24 hours, so basically like you have to eat 24 pancakes if you want to get up and leave. If you don't, you have to keep sitting there for the amount of time that you don't consume the pancakes. I also have heard it where you go to a bar and same sort of deal. You have to have a drink an hour or something like that.
What am I
24? You would get kicked out.
I could do that. No.
I think you would literally get escorted out of the facility.
I would vomit everywhere. Unless they were like the little silver 5 ones, like the kids ones, maybe I could do that. But the drinks, that's so aggressive.
So aggressive. I love when I'm like driving on the freeway. Do you ever do this and see a bumper sticker and it's like, I suck at fantasy football? You know that was their punishment. That they had to put this bumper sticker on their car.
I gotta ask Jake what his teammate, like what their punishment is. I think the White Sox do one. That's a good
go find that out, because that's always fun. And guys take it so seriously. Or people will make you wear like a funny shirt and I've seen guys where you have to dress up as a woman and go sit at the bar. I've seen people have to wear like really like a unicorn shirt and some outrageous outfit and have to go out and eat or whatever. Yeah.
When we did the rally, like I always try to get Joshua and them to do. Joshua was not a big fantasy football person, shockingly.
No fun.
So my thing was I joined 4 leagues last year, which was psychotic. So no way I'm doing that this year. 2 is like my minimum or maximum. Yeah.
2's my maximum too.
Yeah.
It gets around like November, end of November, and I'm like on the road in Paris in Europe, and I can't even watch these games because I'm asleep. Yeah. And I get texts from the commissioners being like, "Hey, Dani, you didn't update your lineup. There's like 2 or 3 people out." Yeah. Like, oh crap, hold on. Sorry, thanks so much for the reminder.
Well, what's funny is, so we'll have like a wives one for Padres wives, and so it's funny, like some of the husbands will help the wives like with their drafts, or they'll help like with their lineups. Mm-hmm. And so like so Jake will like check mine. I take a lot of pride. Like I set mine, but then again, to your point, like when you get when you're doing like tennis or doing college football or something, you're like, oh my gosh, like I forgot to set my lineup. Right. So, but it's funny because some girls, like, they're not even shy. They're like, we're all like, yeah, we just asked our husbands for help,
you fill it out for us. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a team effort.
Morgan's not my husband. She's my sister, but she does have to ask me. I talk her through her draft as well. I mean, it helps.
It's okay to have some assistance. It's okay. Especially when there's some money on the line. Like, come on.
No, I love that football season's here, and that's what we're talking about, because Hard Knocks is coming out. They're actually following the Bills this season, so I'm excited. I think the first episode is coming out.
Their new stadium is going to be ready by next season. Did you see all of the renovations and everything that they're doing? I saw Josh Allen got a tour.
It looks really cool.
Yeah. And especially with, the weather and how crazy it gets up there. I'm surprised that they didn't make it a dome, but I feel like that's not true, like Buffalo football. Like,
I think they didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah. But they did, the way it's constructed. I'm not an engineer, but like you don't even feel the wind.
Wow.
There, in the stadium. So that was something that they had talked about, which I thought was really interesting. Because we know how crazy the weather gets up there in Buffalo. But it got me thinking about like stadiums and what you think they should prioritize if you were to build a new stadium. My thing is more bathrooms, the better, because there's nothing I hate more than having to wait in line during a game and I'm missing like all the action. So more bathrooms is what I would want.
One of the things that I just remember happened at San Francisco's stadium, they built it the wrong way, and then they thought that they were building it to where the sun would be in the opposing team's eyes, during day games, but they actually built it the other way. So now the sun is in their eyes on the sideline. So definitely making sure that you facilitate things the correct way.
Understand directions. Yeah. Understand how sunrise and sunset works. Yeah.
Remember which team you're giving the advantage to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I hate the suites on the ground. I don't like them. I don't understand why that's a thing. I think am I moving around weird?
No, you're good.
That was weird. I was like super frozen for a while. Sorry. Anyways, I do think suites on the floor area is dumb because the players are right there. So like at SoFi Stadium, I understand people flex and say that they're in these like suites that are low down like that on the field, but you're literally staring at everyone's butt. Now, if you're only there for those purposes, which I'm sure some people are, more power to you. But if I'm trying to watch a game, I'm not trying to be eye level with the field. I want to be up a little bit.
I want to feel like I'm, separated. I don't want to be in the action. I know there's some ballparks that have, I think Fenway has something like similar to that. And then I think the Marlins do as well, but it's like, it's too close. I don't want all that. I don't need it.
It's fine. It's just that you can't see when it's right there. I don't know. Everybody's walking in your way. You're like dodging left and right to try and see the play. I mean, that's not, to me, worth the money. So if I'm in a suite,
I want to feel up. Like I want to feel luxurious and be like, no, I'm up here.
Maybe butt warmers from up here. Maybe butt warmers in the seats.
Seat heaters would be amazing. You know where they need to add those? Airplanes.
God, it gets so cold on airplanes.
Why are airplanes so cold?
No. It's wild.
Last night I was frozen. Anyways, but yeah, I think seat heaters at ballparks or stadiums would be amazing. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully the White Sox, I know that's something that we're talking about. Talking about like location of the ballparks and stuff. Would be nice to have the skyline in the background. We'll see what happens.
Oh, it'd be so cool. It would really be really cool. A new home for the White Sox.
Yes.
Wait, speaking of new homes, Brooke, I know we're wrapping up here soon, but we cannot wrap up until we talk about your new home. You and Jake got a house.
So it's not official yet. We haven't signed on the dot, but it's like the process is going. So if all goes well, yes, we did find somewhere in San Diego. It's been a 2-3 year process. Like we've been looking for a really long time, and it was crazy how it like worked out because we had found this place and we were just casually like, oh, okay, like, something that we're interested in. Well, when I got there, we ran into this like realtor that we had been like talking to for a while. We coincidentally ran into him at the restaurant and we didn't even talk about the house. And we were just like, hey, how's it going? Whatever. So then after we were like, let's just go walk by the house and just see what it's like. So we did, ran into one of his teammates and his family. They were actually looking at the house too. And then we ran into the builders. They were there and they were like, do you want to come and look inside? And so we did, and we loved it. And so we sat on it. We went back and looked, and coincidentally, the realtor that we ran into at the restaurant, he's the realtor for that house. So talking about like signs, we felt like they were all good signs, and that maybe we should.
So how many bedrooms?
There's a bedroom for you, Dani, if that's what
okay, good to know. Good to know.
There is space for you. I know. I was going to
concert coming up here, Brooke, here in a couple weeks.
I know. I didn't want to jinx it because, obviously there's so much that goes into, before you sign on the dotted line. But I was going to text you and I'm like, I have to tell Dani.
Don't jinx yourself. Although we're putting it out there on the podcast now, so jinx away.
I know. Let's hope it goes through.
Are you going to do anything to it, like to put your own spin on it? Or is it turnkey, move-in ready?
So it's all like decorated. Well, it's not. We're going to put our own furniture in it, and I love all that stuff, and so I've already been like pinning stuff and on Pinterest and things like that. So we're going to have some fun with all that, and yeah. But I mean, it's good to go. And it's been such a process, like just trying to find a home, and it'll be nice just so Jake spends majority of his year there in San Diego. You know, obviously I'm going back and forth. So just to be able to have like a home base and for him to feel at home, like that's going to be important.
What was on the checklist?
On the checklist, well, budget. That was first and foremost. I actually kind of wanted like a fixer-upper because I love, you know, character. I like a project. I like things that have a story. Like that's me. Jake is kind of like, all right, ready, it's done. I don't want to have to deal with it. So we were trying to find something like a balance, right? So something that was not going to be a fixer-upper. But yeah, just a good size. And we're looking at it like an investment piece. I feel like everything now when you buy a home, it's an investment. But those are kind of the checklist.
Is there a pool or a hot tub or a jacuzzi tub or I don't know.
No pool, but we are getting I know there is a space where we could put a like a little hot tub if we wanted to, but
like you could put a sauna, you know, those in-home saunas these days, a big deal, or a cold plunge.
Oh, a cold plunge would be nice. We are going to do a little fire pit action.
You love that. Love a s'more.
Yes. Love a good s'more. Love sitting by a fire pit at night. So the ideas are flowing. So we'll see. We'll see. We would love your input if anybody else has input and what it's like to live in Southern Cal.
Is it modern? Is it coastal? Is it like, is there a name for it?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Okay, so the house is it's like modern farmhouse. I would kind of, yeah. But my thing, okay, living on the coast, we wanted to feel like we want to tap into that. But I'm just not a fan of like going full coastal. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, we get it. You're on the coast, but I don't want like
welcome with seashells everywhere.
Yeah, that's not my thing. And there's a lot of homes like in that area that kind of have that same vibe. And that's just not our vibe. So I want it to feel peaceful, but also have like a little bit, little color. So again, we'll see.
I like color. Color sounds fun.
No, I do. I'm okay with some color. I want it to, because our house here is like very neutral. So yeah, so I'm okay with
putting like blue cabinets in with the marble tops, or like, is that a little too outrageous?
No, we do have a touch of blue like backsplash in the house. So in the kitchen.
There's some color in there. I love this. This is so exciting.
So Dani, we will have you over again, and whoever wants to come hang. But we're really, really excited.
Congratulations! That's such a fun milestone, and I know you guys have been looking for a long time. So I'm so happy that you.
Oh my gosh, we've been looking. Yeah, we're super excited. Again, hopefully it all goes through. Prayers up, but yeah, we will see. Oh wait, time out. Okay, this is so random, and we're taking like a sharp left turn. But because we're the same generation. Did you see the Hannah Montana tour?
No.
She's coming out with a tour in 2026.
No way.
Yes.
Pop it, lock it, polka dot it. Are we going to learn the dance?
Dani, yes, we are. And we're going. And you know what? It's for, if you
I'm down.
Name like 5 of her top songs, you're not allowed to go. It's not for the younger generation. It's for our generation.
Fair.
So I'm so excited. We're going to get tickets. We're going to dress up. We're going to go.
Is she going to come to Southern California? She has to. She lives there.
I would think. But shout out to Miley, like really just tapping in and being like, you know what? I got to give back to like my fans, right? Like,
do you think it's the Backstreet Boys effect? Like how everybody's going nuts over the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere, that maybe like everybody that has a nostalgic factor is reaching back in. You know, we have Sex in the City, although it's not nearly what it used to be, but like people are remaking shows. People are bringing shows back. It looks like there's going to be a One Tree Hill reboot at some point. I love the nostalgia, but Hannah Montana, that'll be fun.
Well, and one thing I respect about Miley is that, a lot of people when they move on from Disney or Nickelodeon and their child stars, like they kind of want to not be associated with that. And yeah, at one time she was trying to break out of that. But I think she's like mature, old enough now where she understands like that was a huge part of her and that's what launched her career. And so she fully embraces the Hannah Montana age and she like truly loves it. And I respect that she's kind of like going back to her roots and She understands what the fans love. I'm a huge Miley Cyrus fan, and
Me too.
even more now with this Hannah Montana tour.
Oh,
So
fun.
I don't know when tickets are coming out. I don't know anything. I just know she posted a teaser, and everybody on TikTok is freaking out about it, including myself. So we're going to go.
Love it. Release the dates. Let's go.
Yes. And speaking of going, I think it's time for us to go.
This was a yap sesh today.
This was a yap sesh for sure, with a little sports on the side. But we have some guests lined up for next week and the week after, as sports are starting to pick up. Baseball season is in full swing. Fantasy football, we're going to help get you guys your fantasy football teams going here. So it's been fun catching up, Dani. I guess next time we chat, you'll still be in Cincinnati.
Correct. Someday I will leave and go back home. It's not in the foreseeable future.
Oh my gosh, bless your heart. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Dani, great to see you. And guys, we'll see you next week.
Bye.